Have you ever looked at a crocodile or an alligator and thought, wait, which one is this? Don't worry, you're not the only one. These two ancient creatures are so similar in appearance, behavior, and movement that it's no surprise many people often confuse them. But the real question is, if one day they met and decided to battle to the death, who would win? Today we're diving deep, and I mean swamp deep, into one of the most infamous showdowns in the animal kingdom, alligator versus crocodile. From their ancient origins to their bone-crushing bite force, we'll break down everything to figure out who truly rules the swamp. And hey, if you're into wild, intense nature content filled with teeth, scales, and blood, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for Super Stubborn Animal right now. We've got plenty more terrifying nature videos coming your way. And seriously, stay till the end, because there's one detail about these two animals that hardly anyone knows. And it could completely change the outcome of the fight. Let's roll back the clock. Way, way back. I mean before humans, before mammoths, even before T-Rex ruled the earth. Around 70 to 80 million years ago, ancestors of modern-day crocodiles and alligators were already swimming through prehistoric rivers and lurking in swampy waters. What's incredible is that they've barely changed at all since then. Scientists call them living fossils, animals that have stayed nearly identical over tens of millions of years of evolution. Their original design was so perfect for survival, it didn't need any updates. Both belong to the order Crocodilia, which also includes distant relatives like the gharial and caiman. While they share the same ancestry, crocodiles and alligators took two different evolutionary paths. Crocodiles spread across the continents, adapting to both saltwater and freshwater environments. Alligators, meanwhile, stuck mostly to freshwater marshes in the US and a small area in China. Today, there are only two species of alligator left, the American alligator and the critically endangered Chinese alligator. In contrast, there are over a dozen crocodile species, including the massive saltwater crocodile and the aggressive Nile crocodile, both known as apex predators in the wild. Now let's talk about what you'd actually see if you spotted one in the wild. At first glance, they look pretty much the same. Big, scaly reptiles with long tails, short legs, and terrifying jaws. But look a bit closer and you'll spot key differences. First up, the snout. Alligators have a wide U-shaped snout, thick and rounded like a shovel. Crocodiles, on the other hand, have a longer, more pointed V-shaped snout. Why does that matter? Because the shape hints at their diet and hunting style. A broad snout helps alligators crush hard-shelled prey, like turtles, while the narrow croc snout is perfect for catching fish with speed and precision. Next clue, the teeth. When an alligator closes its mouth, its top jaw hides the bottom teeth. They practically disappear. But a crocodile's teeth, they're always on display. Even with its mouth shut, you'll still see that giant fourth tooth sticking out on both sides, like nature's warning sign. I bite hard, want to test it. And speaking of biting, let's talk bite force. Crocodiles have one of the strongest bites in the entire animal kingdom. A full-grown saltwater croc can clamp down with over 3,500 psi, strong enough to crush bones, tear flesh, and break a cow's leg in half. Alligators aren't soft biters either. Their bite force is around 2,900 psi, still devastating. But in a head-to-head comparison, the crocodile has the upper hand when it comes to raw jaw power. Now, let's talk size. A male alligator can grow up to 11 feet long and weigh more than 1,000 pounds. That's already massive, but crocodiles, especially saltwater crocs, can be way bigger. Some have measured over 20 feet and nearly 2,700 pounds. That's heavier than a grand piano. Both animals are extremely dangerous, especially in water. They're like swimming tanks with natural armor, thick, scale-covered skin embedded with bony plates called osteoderms or scutes. It's like body armor that's hard to penetrate unless you hit just the right spot. Even their claws are weapons. Crocodiles especially have long, sharp claws, not so much for slashing, but perfect for gripping, pinning, or tearing into prey. Combine those claws with powerful tails, brutal jaws, and heavyweight bodies, and you've got living wrecking machines. Now comes the big question. If they fought, who would win? Picture this: a humid afternoon in South Florida, one of the only places on Earth where crocs and gators live together, deep in the Everglades where swamp meets sea. A young male crocodile, around 13 feet long, drifts into a murky patch of water already claimed by an adult American alligator, roughly 11 feet long. The gator's been nesting there for weeks. But the croc doesn't care. He's bigger, bolder, and used to calling the shots. The water's still. Both animals vanish beneath the surface. Only their eyes and nostrils remain above. Then, a ripple. Splash! The alligator launches with a fierce tail whip, aiming at the croc's side. But the croc counters fast, faster than you'd think, snapping his jaws with 3,500 psi of crushing force. He bites through scale and muscle like it's nothing. The gator spins into a death roll, twisting to throw the croc off. It's an underwater war. Bubbles thrashing, jaws snapping. Neither wants to back down. But the croc, he's longer, heavier, stronger, and most importantly, meaner. While the gator is more of an opportunist, the crocodile is a warrior. He's aggressive, territorial, and unafraid to fight for dominance. Eventually, the gator gives in. Wounded and exhausted, he backs off. The croc claims the water. This is just a hypothetical, of course. But in the wild, where they do share habitat, crocodiles usually come out on top. They're more aggressive, more dominant, and simply tougher. Let's tally it up. Size, crocodile. Bite force, crocodile. Territorial aggression, crocodile. Short burst speed, crocodile again. Stealth ambush skill, alligator's specialty. Habitat versatility, crocodile. Cold weather survival, advantage, alligator. But in a straight-up one-on-one fight, the crocodile's power and aggression give it the win. But wait, don't count the alligator out. These guys are apex predators in their own right. They've survived for millions of years, adapted to shrinking habitats and mastered stealth attacks. They're smart, sturdy, and built to kill. But if we're talking about a full-on battle, the crocodile, especially a saltwater croc or Nile croc, is just too dominant. So the next time you see a gator sunbathing on a golf course or a croc gliding through an African river, remember these aren't just reptiles. They're prehistoric warriors. And if they ever clash, that's not just a fight, it's a battle of legends. If you enjoyed this intense showdown between two of nature's most stubborn and savage reptiles, make sure to smash that subscribe button and stay tuned with us here at Super Stubborn Animal, where we dig into the wildest animal matchups on the planet. Got a fight you want to see next? Maybe Komodo dragon versus giant anaconda, or silverback gorilla versus grizzly bear. Drop your craziest ideas in the comments. We read them all. And remember, when nature strikes back, only the most stubborn survive. See you in the next video.